guys, today we're going to have a look at this brand spanking new 2024 Gas Gas EC450F. This is a demo bike that Valley Motorsport in Kelowna has very kindly let me take out for the day. This is kind of similar to my WR450 in a lot of ways. The WR is an old bike, but I mean it had a headlight, electric start, you know, definitely very off-road capable, big power, stuff like that. This one improves upon that in a couple of areas. Hydraulic clutch is a big one. I've pulled my kickstand off my bike just because it was solid steel, very heavy. It weighed over 2 pounds. This one though has a 6-speed, which is very interesting. I was just coming up this road doing, I think I got up to about 125 kilometers an hour. Was about the top speed. So that was that's pretty good. Either way, we're gonna go put it through its paces. This area has a pretty wide variety of stuff. There's a few hill climbs in the distance. There's some little bit of single track over there. There's some loose rocky stuff that kind of like a road that resembles an old creek bed. A little bit of hard enduro stuff up there. So we're just gonna go for a cruise and check this baby out. I know a lot of people are really into the 300s these days. If I had a couple of bikes, I would love to have something like this and a 300, but if I had to choose one, I'm definitely more of a 4-stroke guy. And one of the reasons is I would like to get into snow biking. This bike would be an excellent candidate for that. But anyways, let's get out there and give her a go. Thing I would change about this right away is to put the suspension on its softest settings, crank the compression all the way down. I would generally be running way lower tire pressure as well. Man, that one finger clutch, wow, it is really nice. Actually, it took the wrong way. I've only been through here once or twice a while ago. This one's a bit bigger. Stake. Actually touched the skid plate on that one. There's some steep downhill stuff here, which is pretty fun. One thing I'm noticing right now, I find the missing my thumb and index finger and part of my middle finger on my right hand, so I'm finding it a little bit tough to reach that brake. I'm not sure if this pedal is, or if this lever is adjustable at all. Okay. So I mostly just came down here so I could go back up, but it's a pretty fun up trail. I'm just going to cruise it in first gear. Ripped right up there like nothing at all, as expected. That little log again. after matted for a bit, it might hit 130. Where is this trail? Right along here, I think. There we go. Oh, there it was. Okay, so this gets into a bit of fun, sort of rocky stuff. It's always going to look like nothing on camera. That's just kind of how she goes. Man, that light clutch on this thing, on my WR, I've got it geared down so much that I don't really have to use the clutch as much. But on this one, even with the taller gears, it's still just so easy to use. Really fun little trail section through here. Used to come down here on my quad all the time, and gets a little rockier just up ahead. So right here we start getting into a bit more of this. Little tiny rock ledges and a bit of boulders and stuff like that. Oh boy, woo! Super loose in through here. Again, probably just looks like absolutely nothing on camera, but when you're coming back up this, you really got to pay attention and keep your body position good and try not to loop out. A lot of these big loose rocks all over the place. Fun little section through here. Little downhill section here somewhere. This is the one. Probably again looks like nothing. This is quite steep. There we go. Actually, I might just blast back up that right now. In my bike with those low gears, I would generally do this in second. Probably do it in second on this one too. Good times. Yeah, this thing's got plenty of jam for this kind of stuff. Some sort of exit through here. Right there, I think. I'm not exactly sure if this bike has more power than mine or not. Mine has a big bore kit and a titanium pro circuit pipe, and I would say mine's a lot more explosive off the bottom, which you would expect with those low gears, but I think this thing is actually faster. Got another one here. This one's a bit more hard packed with rocks on it. Probably hit this in second gear. Yeah, piece of cake. So far this thing is definitely checking all the boxes for hill climb power. I mean, none of these are like giant hills or anything like that, but you know, I'm barely even trying to get up here. It's just flying right up. So that's one of my more favorite parts of riding, I would say, is definitely hill climbs. I just love being in situations where you're trying to use a lot of the bike's power, if not all of it, kind of thing. This being a brand new bike that doesn't belong to me, I wouldn't take it on some of the more gnarly stuff that I take my WR, just because I don't really want to replace a bunch of plastics and that kind of thing, especially considering I don't own it. But regardless, I have no doubt that this thing would keep up just fine in basically anything you threw it at. Super loose and steep. These tires are working pretty good for this kind of stuff too. When we get into a little bit more of the hard enduro type things, we'll see if not having a gummy tire on there is making that much of a difference. I don't think we'll get into anything today that's too extreme. We're just kind of out here having fun. Lots of people walking their dogs, riding bikes. Definitely a multi-use area. Unexpected, pretty deep little ditches. That suspension just soaked it up like nothing. I generally like to run my suspension pretty soft. This is a bike you could definitely take to a motocross track, but for this kind of riding, you want to be using all of your suspension travel. So I would be keeping that compression pretty low. It's a good little hill climb here. Piece of cake. lowering the compression rate down before I started riding, but this is just like riding on a cloud. Been a few times where I got a little bit surprised by big rock or some bumps, and it's been really nice. Okay, now we're going to get back into that loose rocky hill climb that we came down a few minutes ago. It's not like super difficult, but it's easy to lose your momentum and get stopped hitting a rock weir or something like that. So I would say coming up that, having the stock tire pressure, I really notice it. I normally would float over that stuff a lot easier. A lot of you might wonder, why do I ride sitting down so much? With this hand missing a couple fingers, it's a lot easier and more secure, I find, especially with the way this brake lever's lined up. So anyways, let's keep going. Right up there like nothing at all. Really nice bike. junk around here. Again, with that full tire pressure, really noticing it. These are probably at like 15 right now. I prefer them at like 6 or so. There we go, piece of cake. This thing chugs really good. Just a piece of cake going over stuff like that. Okay, back on the gravel. Little squirrel. Here's a little area I like to ride up. This is kind of like a few little, probably like 10-12 inch steps. It's kind of just a fun little thing I like to do. Probably looks like nothing on camera. Woo! Good ride today. I appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. If you could do me a favor and hit that thumbs up and give me a subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Give me a comment. You ever tried one of these bikes? Have you ever heard of it? I know a lot of people don't know about Gas Gas, but they were recently purchased by KTM. I work at a dealership that sells Husqvarna, which is also owned by KTM. So pretty cool to have a lot of different options and variety of bikes. So anyways, let's keep on cruising. This bike is so much less fatiguing to ride than mine. This clutch, mine is like, and I'll still go out and ride it. It's not like it's a reason to ruin the bike, but comparing it to this, man, it is just night and day different. Next, we're going to head up this trail straight ahead of us. There's a little ledge up there. It's probably a couple feet or so, maybe 2.5 feet or something. But I just did it for the first time pretty recently. I'm interested in hard enduro stuff, but I just kind of tiptoe into it, like these little steps here and that. Again, I know a lot of people prefer the 300 two-strokes for that kind of thing, but honestly, as you can see with the style of riding I do, I don't really need it, you know, and I'm really interested in getting into snow biking. So again, that's a big reason we're having a 4-stroke is a bit more well-rounded. Side first. Yep, got her. Alright folks, there we go. Definitely got that back tire rounded off a little bit, but she's holding up pretty good. Alright folks, let's wrap it up. That was a fun little ride in an area that I go pretty often. There are other places that are a lot nastier hill climbs and grosser conditions overall, but I'm not about to take some brand new bike that I don't even own on that. This is a really nice bike. I struggled to see, other than some setup stuff, I mean, there's really nothing that I would change about it. You know, I've got my bike set up exactly how I want. I like the Shinko 505 rear tires. They just have a gigantic sidewall, so you can run them at super low PSI, and in situations where I was doing that loose rocky hill climb stuff, it'll just conform and grip to those nasty bumps so much easier. Also, the sprockets, chain and sprockets, I mean, this clutch is so much easier to work with and use, but still I prefer way lower gearing, especially with a 6-speed. I mean, I'd be going a 1252 sprocket set on this. Hey, just a quick update. I got home and actually noticed that this does say 52 on this rear sprocket. Where did I just see that? Right there. And then up here though, that is a 13. So I would definitely go to a 12 on the front, which does make a pretty big difference. But regardless, I guess the gearing isn't as far off as I thought. Perhaps the transmission ratios on this might be different from mine. I'm not exactly sure, but either way, I would make that change. Either way though, different tires, different chain and sprockets. I would still soften up the suspension as much as possible too. I found coming over that rock ledge back there, it was really bucking me. I tried it 3 times and I only got up once without having to put my foot down. I'm sure I could get used to it on this bike, but I would change that all day for the type of riding that I do. Regardless though, the suspension was just buttery soft. There was a lot of spots where I'd be flying along and there'd be a big bump or a little rock pile or something like that, and this thing just ate it up like nothing. Big foot pegs on there. I mean, my bike does have electric start, but I've removed it. But I mean, having that again is just so nice. Also that hydraulic clutch, oh my god, it's just so buttery soft and smooth. So yeah, I have to say, huge fan of this bike. If I was in the market for something like this, this is absolutely what I would be looking at. I really want to get into snow biking. This would be an excellent candidate for that. Really a go anywhere, do anything bike. And you know, there's a lot of people doing way more hardcore enduro stuff. I get that. I'm just an average rider, but I don't really know that I need the advantages that a 2-stroke would give me. You know, spend the summer over at Bear Creek across the valley, and I might have a different opinion of that, but for now and what I do, this thing is pretty much ideal. So thanks for coming along. Please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, and let me know, is this a bike you've ever heard of? Is this the kind of riding you like to do, or is this your sort of segment? All that kind of stuff. Drop a comment, let me know where you're at with this video, and thanks for coming along. Give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.